In simple terms, we break it down. Complex stuff, we make it sound clear and easy for you and me. BillyGoatTales and Dave Digital bring knowledge we share. In simple terms, we're everywhere. We love you, fam. Hashtag givers gain.
Good morning, goats, and welcome to the Simple Terms Podcast. I am Dave Digital. We are hosted on the BillyGoatTales channel on YouTube. And good morning to everybody. It's a great morning today. Bitcoin. What is going on with Bitcoin? We don't know. What we're going to jump in today is the Ondo white paper. Funny fact, last week, Ondo won the poll for the white paper. And what we did, so I went to go build everything, right? Of course, if you can hear us, put a 1 in the chat, or if you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat. So I went to go get the white paper for Ondo last week because it was the winner in the poll, and Ondo doesn't have an official white paper. So the newer assets, what it seems like is instead of a white paper, they have an ongoing. Good, I see you in the chat saying that you can hear me. Perfect. So they have an ongoing web page, web portal that they can constantly update as things change. So I think that's the new white paper, or at least for some of the tokens. But good news, what I was able to do was I was able to use AI and go back and build a white paper type document. So at least we can get into Ondo and figure out what's their plan, what are they trying to do, why have they been one of the strongest RWAs we've ever seen. So we're going to get into that. Let me go ahead and swap, let you guys see the old Bitcoin chart. Let's see here. Not that one. That one, but that one. There you go. So what we have behind me, you see Bitcoin. We've had this weekly naked POC that was naked, and now it's been tapped a couple of times, but it's holding at support. So I don't know what's going to happen here. I'm sure a lot of you already see that it looks like we may have a left shoulder ahead. We may end up getting a right shoulder. If you follow Frankie Candles, what he's hoping for is that we come up into this. So that's a macro 618. So he's hoping that we come a little bit deeper into it rather than just rejecting right here at the very tippity tip. I've got another weekly NPOC set up there, so we could come at least up to there. If you look by going to a higher time frame, you can kind of see that better. This is golden pocket 786. This is the range that we're looking to build. And we are trying to hold that value area low. So we came up, we touched the POC, came back down. Looks like we're trying to hold the value area low, which is also a weekly. And maybe we'll go back up. And I think he's hoping that we touch the 786 at least, or at least just get into this middle of the golden pocket area. So we'll just see what's going on there. I will show you another trade that I took recently on low leverage. I like the asset Parachain, not financial advice, of course. But you guys can see here, I took this one and it was a little bit rocky. So I feel like, oh yeah, I made a great decision there. And then boom, we rode this all the way down for a long time, you can see, but it did not hit my stop loss. And then bang, bingo, bango, right out of there. Good trade. I am in a couple more. I've got AVAX going. So I'm still looking. So you can see how close it got. I wasn't paying attention when it got that close to my stop loss at $36, or not stop loss, my take profit at $36. So I'm just going to wait for a pullback and then let that move all the way through. So that's a 40% AVAX trade basically on a spot back. I've got an ADA trade still doing good. That's a longer term trade. Been looking at SOL and virtuals. If you look at SOL, we're not sure here what SOL is going to do, but it did hold a daily negatory control. And so it's likely that it'll go back up to the other daily nugget point of control. And you can see here behind me a little bit, you can see here behind me that it is also holding that value area low or attempting to the previous one. So that's a good sign for Sol. I think you have a slight dip there. And then flip it to go up. Turn that off. I forgot it was on. All right. So Ondo Finance. Let's look at Ondo. So I was in a trade on Ondo too. It was a good trade. You could see I had this smaller trade here. It was also a doozy. It was in the red for a little bit, but then bang, all the way up. And it's a good Ondo trade. Now we're holding $1. If we can hold $1, which it looks like it's below that previous value area. But if Ondo can hold $1, obviously we'll be looking for new highs. But if it can't, then you can expect that it comes back down to 94, 95 cents. Okay. With all that being said, let's turn back on the normal stuff here. Let's pull up the podcast. Let's see if I can share it and get the results. Here, share the screen. Entire screen. Bang, bang. Turn it on. Share. Okay, we'll do a little test real quick. Let me grab my phone. Let me catch up in chat before we do our little test. So let me put it on all messages. All messages. I know it's Jesse is the first one in the chat. So good morning, Jesse. Good to see you this morning. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you always coming in. I think you probably have 7 or 8 weeks left on your healing. So we're praying with you and for you. So we hope that you heal quickly. Crypto Billy was in there. Good morning. As you guys know, Crypto Billy is the founder and inspiration for the BillyGoatTales network and the Givers Gain hashtag. And we love Crypto Billy and we thank him for all of that. K Diggs in the chat saying good morning to Billy. JV, J Violet in the chat, all the way from Australia. We've got Keith in the chat, Crypto Coin Mindset. Let's see here. Who else do we have? Randy's in the chat. Randy a bite. Good morning, Randy. Let me see here. Steve Hickey in the chat. Good morning, Steve. Nightbot in the chat. We'll have to keep an eye on Nightbot. Let me see. Who else? They got the protagonist in the chat. Good morning, protagonist. Good to have you here. Trade Intuition in the chat. Good morning, T.I. Joe. Bingo. Bango. And of course, we don't believe that that POC, if you know Joe, acts as a magnet. Let's see here. Crypto Maniac 1776. Good morning. Glad to have you here. And I think that's it. So do me a favor, guys. If you have an X account, go ahead and share it out. Let everybody know that we are live here on the Simple Terms podcast. Use the hashtag Ondo. Use the $ Ondo. And let's see if you guys can hear this. Okay. Now wait.
Okay, let's unpack this. Welcome to the deep dive, where we slice through complex information to give you that critical shortcut to
One in
being
the
truly
chat.
well informed. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the fascinating world of Ondo Finance. Now, before we really jump in, a crucial clarification. Ondo Finance doesn't
Looking
actually
for a
have like
one
a
in the chat.
traditional
If
white
you can hear
paper in
this,
the way many crypto projects do. The
2 in
comprehensive
that chat
white
if you
paper
can't
style
hear. All
document we're
right,
exploring
good.
today.
So we are on. Sounds good to me. See if I can go back. And then here.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Reset it.
Unpack this. Welcome to the deep dive, where we slice.
Come over here. All right. So Ondo Finance, guys, you know how it works. We are going to hit play. This is an AI interactive podcast. So what we've done with this one, as they're going to explain to you guys, is we've recreated what would be an Ondo white paper, since they don't have a traditional white paper. Okay, so we went through the website and dug through it, pulled out all the important information, or we hope that we did. That's why we have you guys here. So if you see any inconsistencies, you can point those out too. But ask your questions. If I see your questions, when I see your questions, I'll star them and I'll come back to them at a good time. So the AI is sometimes kind of finicky. If we ask too many questions too soon, they'll try to cut out on us early. So we definitely don't want them to do that. We want them to get their, we want them to do their full work today, right? So if AI is on the payroll, AI needs to stay the whole shift. All right, so let's get going. Share out the stream. Let's have a good time. Let's ask your questions. Let's get going. Of course, if you see this little thing moving over here, this little line, and you don't hear anything, just let me know in the chat and we'll get it fixed right up. All right.
Okay, let's unpack this. Welcome to the deep dive where we slice through complex information to give you that critical shortcut to being truly well informed. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the fascinating world of Ondo Finance.
What
Now,
kind of
before we
dive?
really jump in, a crucial clarification. Ondo Finance doesn't actually have like a traditional white paper in the way many crypto projects do. The comprehensive white paper style document we're exploring today was meticulously crafted using publicly available information with a little help from AI. Actually, it was created specifically for the Simple Terms podcast hosted by David Digital.
Right. So think of it less as an official company paper and more as a really useful synthesis. It pulls everything together.
Exactly. It's a way to make complex info accessible, which is really our goal here. Our mission today, as always, is to break down exactly what Ondo Finance does, explain its features, and crucially, distill its significance. We want to empower you, the average person in America or similar countries, whether you're investing or just curious, to truly grasp its impact.
To really understand why it matters in the grand scheme of things.
Totally. We're aiming for those aha moments. And as we get going, remember this deep dive is presented by the at BillyGoatTales YouTube channel. That's the home of the Simple Terms podcast hosted by David Digital. Make sure you're tuning in weekly every Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on YouTube for that incredible content. And while you're at it, hit that follow button for at David Digital on X and at Billy Goatales on X and YouTube. You truly won't want to miss what they're doing. Joining me today to guide us through this intricate landscape and to provide that invaluable context and deeper insight is our expert.
Hey there. Want to
Hey
share your
there.
thoughts on this?
I sure do. So joining us today is not only our expert, and I appreciate you two panelists, you two guys running the podcast today, but I want to remind you that we are live on YouTube on the Billy Goat Tales channel. This is the Simple Terms podcast, and we do have a live audience. So I would like for everybody, we'd like to say good morning to our live audience, and I'm going to go through those names, and you could say good morning. So we have Jesse Galluck, and Jesse is recovering from a hip injury. He probably has about 7 or 8 weeks left to go. We have Crypto Billy, the founder of BillyGoatTales. We also have Kay Diggity. We have Jay Violet, who is in Australia. We also have here, let me see, we've got Crypto Coin Mindset. Crypto Coin Mindset is Keith. We also have Keith is the creator of the Crypto Coin Mindset podcast, one of our favorite people. We have Randy Abite. We also have, let me see here, Steve Hickey. We have just trying to keep the noise going. There we go. They're going to say hi to those people.
Good morning, everyone.
Absolutely a huge good morning to the live audience joining us right now. Yep, go on.
Yeah. Oh, I wasn't quite done. I was trying to keep noise going so it didn't stop me. So Protagonist is also here. Steve Hickey, Trade Intuition, who is Joe. And I want to tell you that Trade Intuition had a great comment this morning. He said that, he acts as a wealthy person, but his bank thinks otherwise. He said just like the POC or point of control acts as a magnet. He says the POC is not a magnet, but it has a high chance of going to the POC, but price can do anything. So we have this banter going back and forth. It's so funny with Trade Intuition. Let me see. We also had Crypto Princess show up in the chat. So we appreciate her. She has a wonderful YouTube channel, and she is all about the women in crypto. So say hi to everybody that I mentioned. Please don't lose your place in this great Ondo that we're about to unpack. And let's get started.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Good morning to everyone we missed.
Yeah, good morning to Protagonist, Trade Intuition, Joe, and Crypto Princess.
It's so wonderful to have such a vibrant community.
And we especially appreciate Crypto Princess and her focus on women in crypto.
That visibility is incredibly important right now.
And what a brilliant comment from Trade Intuition, that analogy about the bank.
That absolutely resonates with the core idea of Ondo.
Right. It's exactly about acting wealthy, but with access the old system usually denies.
That feeling of acting like an institution, but your bank thinks otherwise.
It's why Ondo's mission is to democratize that access.
They want everyone to be able to access institutional grade products.
They want to remove those barriers.
And that concept Joe mentioned, the point of control or POC, not being a magnet.
It's a great metaphor for financial markets.
The price might go there, but there are no guarantees.
It speaks to the risk involved in any market, even with a compliant platform like Ondo.
It's a critical reminder that while accessibility is high, risks are always present.
We'll touch on those risks later in the document.
But yes, we appreciate all the engagement.
We're so glad you're all here on the BillyGoatTales YouTube channel.
And Jesse, again, best wishes for a speedy recovery from that hip injury.
7 or 8 weeks, it will truly fly by.
That community energy is key to everything we discuss.
It's why a vibrant audience, whether it's ours or Ondo's, is essential.
We noted that Ondo itself has over 18,000 early token holders.
And 100,000 plus followers on X.
That collective wisdom guides the project through the Ondo DAO.
Now let's get back to the document.
We were just moving past the intro.
The executive summary paints a really compelling picture of Ondo's ambitions.
Lays out their vision to pioneer RWA tokenization.
RWA's real-world assets, which we'll unpack in just a moment.
But their grand goal is to democratize access to institutional finance.
Think about the investments usually reserved for massive banks or the super wealthy,
Ondo wants to make those accessible to you.
which is a pretty radical idea fundamentally.
It really is achieved through their CeDeFi model.
CeDeFi, a hybrid approach, remember?
It combines the regulatory safeguards of traditional finance or TradFi.
Right, the old world system that Trade Intuition's bank lives in.
Yeah, with the innovation and accessibility that decentralized finance DeFi offers.
So trusted oversight, but with the speed, transparency, and global reach of digital assets.
It truly aims for the best of both worlds.
So what specifically are they bringing to the table right now?
Compliant on-chain access to yields from high-quality assets.
We're talking US Treasuries, money market funds, and stablecoins,
And now, more recently, they've expanded into US stocks and ETFs.
which is a pretty big expansion.
Huge, and it's happening at a significant scale.
As of September 2025, Ondo manages over $1.39 billion in total value locked.
Their tokenized assets under management, AUM, is already over $500 million.
This spans across products like OUSG, USDY, and OMF.
A really impactful recent development is the Ondo Global Markets launch.
This platform is tokenizing over 100. Oh, yeah,
You said this expands over these projects. I'm not sure that we understand all those acronyms. Can you tell me what those projects are and what their expansion means in those projects?
That is a fantastic, necessary question.
Okay, let's unpack this right now.
You're absolutely right. Those acronyms are the core product.
We were going to dive into them in the next segment.
But let's give a quick breakdown now because they illustrate the expansion.
First up, OUSG.
AUSG stands for Ondo U.S. Government Bond Fund.
It's a tokenized fund backed by short-term US Treasuries.
This is a massive product backed by the BlackRock BNL fund.
It offers institutional-grade yields, currently around 5.3% APY,
The expansion here is that OUSG offers 247 liquidity.
and it allows instant USDC minting, which TradFi can't do.
Next is USDY, a yield-bearing stablecoin.
It's backed by short-duration bonds and bank deposits.
Think of it as a stablecoin that earns you around 5% yield.
Its expansion is all about multi-chain reach.
It's already on Solana, Vantil, and Say.
The third one is OMMF, the Ondo Money Market Fund.
It gives accredited U.S. investors access to BlackRock cash equivalents.
This one offers stable yields, about 4.8% APY.
Its expansion means more transparent, on-chain access to highly liquid funds.
These tokens are redeemable for the underlying assets.
They're all about democratizing access, which ties back to Trade Intuition's comment.
It's about acting wealthy by accessing these institutional products.
Now let's circle back to what we were just discussing, global markets.
The platform tokenizing over 100 US stocks and ETFs.
Think direct tokenized ownership of shares like Tesla or Apple on the blockchain.
Exactly. And the market response has been remarkable.
It hit $172 million in total value, locked in just its first week.
That's fast growth, showing significant demand is definitely there.
Absolutely. And underpinning all these products, OUSG, USDY, and OMF, is the Ondo token.
That's their governance token, giving holders a say in how the platform evolves.
Ondo's mission sums up why they create all these products perfectly.
They want to accelerate the transition to the open economy.
Building the platforms and infrastructure to bring financial markets on-chain.
Ambitious and backed by major players.
Founders Fund, Pantera Capital, Coinbase Ventures, that is serious backing.
They're positioned strategically to capture a slice of the massive $100 trillion plus RWA market.
The global tokenized value is already at $288 billion.
So let's elaborate a bit now on the concept.
What exactly are these real-world assets, RWAs?
And why is tokenizing them such a big deal?
At its simplest, RWAs are just assets that exist outside the blockchain.
So think actual real estate, physical commodities like gold or oil,
or even tangible things like intellectual property or debt instruments.
It's basically anything of value that is not a native crypto token.
Right. And tokenization is simply putting a digital representation of that asset on the blockchain.
That allows it to be traded, fractionalized, and used in DeFi protocols.
It removes the middleman, speeds up settlements, and lowers the minimum buy-in.
Which brings us back to those fundamental barriers they're solving.
It really is about moving beyond the T+2 settlement issues.
That's the traditional 2-day wait time for a stock trade to settle.
With Ondo and those products we just named, they envision instant global access.
This process makes institutional assets available for $100 minimums, not $1 million.
That democratizing. Oh, back to our listener. What's up?
Yeah, I definitely don't want to interrupt you guys. I want you to stay on flow, and I really appreciate your insights. But you said T+2, and a lot of us, we haven't traded stocks before. We're crypto traders, so I don't think we understand that totally. Can you kind of give a little bit more information on that so the audience and myself included understand?
Okay, let's unpack this T+2 concept.
That is a critical point of friction, so we should definitely clarify.
T+2 refers to trade date plus 2 business days.
In traditional stock trading, when you buy a share,
You agree on the price that day, the trade date or T.
but the actual transfer of money and ownership of the stock doesn't happen instantly.
It takes 2 full business days for the transaction to finalize or settle.
This delay is due to manual processes and layers of intermediaries.
It's the old system that costs the industry billions annually.
Remember, the source material mentioned manual processes costs $15 to $20 billion annually.
That inefficiency is directly linked to the T+2 settlement lag.
Now, in the crypto world, settlements are typically near instant.
When you buy a token, it's in your wallet almost immediately.
Ondo's goal is to bring that crypto efficiency to assets like treasuries and stocks.
For OUSG, for example, redemptions are 247.
Though some redemptions, like OUSG, might still take T+1 day due to the underlying PadFi structure.
But the vision is instant, global access.
That speed, that instant settlement, is the key advantage of tokenization.
It eliminates that T+2 barrier that traditionally locks up capital.
That makes OUSG and other tokenized funds accessible.
It's the core significance of the CeDeFi model.
It's about moving Wall Street 2.0 away from those slow barriers.
Thank you for bringing that up. It's so necessary to understand.
We truly appreciate you asking for that clarification.
Now, let's wrap up this segment on the executive summary.
We truly appreciate you asking about those technical terms and acronyms.
Join us next time as we dive deeper into the protocols.
We'll break down Flex.
Oh,
Yeah,
no. Oh, no. You guys are going way too fast. But we haven't even got into the Ondo Finance white paper. I think you're trying to get out of here too early. Maybe the early questions got you a little bit confused. But I hope I don't have to restart. If I do, it's fine. But I want you guys to kind of start at the beginning and make sure you get through this whole 45-minute presentation.
Oh, absolutely not. We are not trying to get out of here early at all.
No confusion here, just a lot of enthusiasm for the subject.
And we definitely appreciate your commitment to the full 45 minutes.
Okay, let's unpack this. We have absolutely not finished.
We've only just wrapped up the executive summary portion.
Which, if you look at the table of contents, is the first major section.
We covered the key points: CeDeFi, RWAs, and the products like OUSG and USDY.
We even clarified the T+2 settlement issue, which was crucial context.
We're simply moving on to the next planned section of this.
Oh, go for it.
Okay, it's my fault. I just thought you guys were trying to wrap up. My misunderstanding. Sorry to interrupt you, and please continue.
Please, no apologies necessary at all.
We genuinely love the interruption.
Your engagement drives the discussion.
It ensures we cover what matters most to you.
And we definitely want to continue the deep dive.
We're totally committed to giving you the full picture.
The kit-the-size document is comprehensive.
Remember, it still covers protocols and tokenomics.
We were about to transition from products to protocols.
This is where we look at the how of Ondo.
We'll cover Flex Finance, the RWA lending platform.
And the ambitious Ondo chain L1.
That L1 is being built specifically for RWA scalability.
That's a huge part of the white paper's vision.
We still have so much more to cover, including governance.
We've just scratched the surface of Ondo's mission.
That mission is to accelerate the transition to the open economy.
We've covered the what and the scale.
Now for how the infrastructure and protocols.
We want to make sure everyone, including Jesse, gets the full scope.
And we still love Trade Intuition's bank analogy.
So let's dive right into the protocol section.
We'll start with Flex Finance.
This is the RWA lending platform.
What's fascinating here is that Flex Finance is governed by the DAO.
It runs independently, really emphasizing decentralization.
Flex allows borrowing against assets like OUSG and USDY.
This means you can get liquidity without selling your tokenized T-bills.
You can borrow against OUSG at a 50 to 80% loan to value ratio.
It is permission to ensure compliance is always the priority.
It already integrates with major protocols like Avi.
and its total value locked is currently over $500 million.
That volume shows significant trust in the platform.
Moving on, the next protocol is the Ondo bridge.
It handles cross-chain transfers for their tokens.
Like moving USDY from Ethereum to Solana or Mantle.
This is absolutely key for that multi-chain expansion.
It uses layer 0 technology for secure, reliable transfers.
Finally, there's the ambitious Ondo chain.
This is their upcoming layer 1 blockchain.
It's based on the Cosmos SDK with EVM compatibility.
Importantly, it will use permission validators.
This ensures high compliance for RWA scalability.
The mainnet launch is planned for Q3 2025.
This infrastructure is essential for their long-term vision.
It aims to handle the eventual trillions of dollars in tokenized value,
This will solidify the CeDeFi approach.
which is key to moving past that T+2 friction point.
We truly appreciate you ensuring we cover all the necessary details.
Thank you all for tuning in and for your wonderful engagement.
And we especially thank the BillyGoatTales community for joining us live. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Let me just restart.
Oh, our listeners got something to share. Let's hear it.
Yeah, I think they're trying to get out early, but we can go over that one more time with our questions not in there. So it'll be fun. I think we just did a few minutes of it anyway. So let's just see what they've got here.
Okay, let's unpack this. Welcome to the deep dive, where we slice through complex information to give you that critical shortcut to being truly well informed. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the fascinating world of Ondo Finance.
You
Now,
guys can
before we
see
really jump in, a crucial clarification.
how whenever we ask
Ondo
questions,
Finance
they
doesn't
get off
actually have
a
like a
little bit.
traditional white paper in the way many crypto projects do. The comprehensive white paper style document we're exploring today was meticulously crafted using publicly available information with a little help from AI, actually. It was created specifically for the Simple Terms podcast hosted by David Digital.
Right. So think of it less as an official company paper and more as a really useful synthesis. It pulls everything together.
Exactly. It's a way to make complex info accessible, which is really our goal here. Our mission today, as always, is to break down exactly what Ondo Finance does, explain its features, and, crucially, distill its significance. We want to empower you, the average person in America or similar countries, whether you're investing or just curious, to truly grasp its impact.
To really understand why it matters in the grand scheme of things.
Totally. We're aiming for those aha moments. And as we get going, remember this deep dive is presented by the @BillyGoatTales YouTube channel. That's the home of the Simple Terms podcast hosted by Dave Digital. Make sure you're tuning in weekly every Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on YouTube for that incredible content. And while you're at it, hit that follow button for @DaveDigital on X and @BillyGoatTales on X and YouTube. You truly won't want to miss what they're doing. Joining me today to guide us through this intricate landscape and to provide that invaluable context and deeper insight is our expert.
Yeah, happy to be digging into this. What's truly fascinating here, beyond just the sheer volume of info Ondo has put out publicly, is how this document manages to distill it. It makes it genuinely manageable, you know?
Right.
And when we connect this to the bigger picture, Ondo isn't just building another app. They're fundamentally addressing these deep-seated barriers in finance, the kind of barriers that have historically excluded most people from significant wealth building opportunities. It's a project that really speaks to the structure of global capital.
So diving right in, the executive summary of this document, it paints a really compelling picture of Ondo's ambitions, lays out their vision. At its core, Ondo is pioneering the tokenization of real-world assets, or RWAs.
RWAs, yeah. We'll unpack that term more in a sec.
Definitely. But their big goal, their grand goal, is to democratize access to institutional grade financial products. Think about the kinds of investments usually reserved for massive banks, hedge funds, or, the super wealthy. Ondo wants to make those accessible to you.
Which is a pretty radical idea, fundamentally.
It really is, and they do this through a unique approach they call CeDeFi, CeDeFi. It's a blend, sort of a hybrid model. It combines the strong regulatory safeguards and stability of traditional finance, what people call TradFi.
Right, the old world system.
Yeah, with the innovation, the efficiency, and the accessibility that decentralized finance, or DeFi, offers. So imagine having the trusted oversight of a traditional system but with the speed, the transparency, and the global reach of digital assets.
Best of both worlds, essentially.
That's the idea. So, what specifically are they bringing to the table? They're offering compliant on chain access to yields from high quality assets. We're talking US Treasuries, money market funds, stablecoins. And now, more recently, they've either expanded into individual US stocks and exchange traded funds, ETFs.
Which is a pretty big expansion, stocks and ETFs.
Huge, and they're doing this at a significant scale already. As of September 2025, Ondo manages over $1.39 billion in total value locked TVL, and their tokenized assets under management, AUM, that's already over $500 million. This spans across products like OUSG, USDY, and OMMF. We'll break those down later.
Okay.
A really impactful recent development is the launch of Ondo Global Markets. This platform is tokenizing over 100 US stocks and ETFs. Think shares of companies like Tesla or Apple, but available on the blockchain.
Wow. So direct tokenized ownership of stocks.
Exactly. And the market response, pretty remarkable. It hit $172 million in TVL in just its first week.
That's fast growth. Shows the demand is there.
Absolutely. And underpinning all this innovation and growth is the ODO token. That's their governance token. It gives holders a direct say in how the platform evolves. Ondo's mission statement sums it up perfectly. Accelerate the transition to the open economy by building the platform's assets and infrastructure to bring financial markets on chain.
Ambitious, very tailored.
And they've got Sirius Backing Founders Fund, Pantera Capital, Coinbase Ventures, major players. They're positioned strategically to capture a substantial slice of this massive, like $100 trillion plus RWA market. The global tokenized value is already estimated at $288 billion. So it's a dynamic space, and Ondo's right in the thick of it.
Okay, building on that, let's elaborate a bit. What exactly are these real world assets, RWAs, and why is tokenizing them such a big deal? At its simplest, RWAs are just any tangible or intangible assets that exist outside the blockchain. So think your actual real estate, physical commodities like gold or oil, maybe even intellectual property. In Ondo's case, they're starting primarily with financial instruments, US Treasuries, stocks, things people are familiar with investing in traditionally.
Right. Things with existing value.
Exactly. Now, tokenization is the process of representing verifiable ownership of these traditional assets as digital tokens on a blockchain. Imagine taking like a deed to a property or a share certificate and turning it into a unique verifiable digital token,
Okay, so digitizing ownership.
pretty much. And when you do this, you essentially give these traditional assets all the native benefits of blockchain technology. This includes things like 2047 global trading, no more waiting for market hours. Fractional ownership, this is huge. It means you can own a tiny, affordable piece of something historically very expensive, like maybe a fraction of a treasury bond or even that Tesla share.
So you don't need huge amounts of money to start.
Precisely. And you get enhanced verifiable transparency, all on the blockchain. These are really game changers for assets that have traditionally been, well, cumbersome, illiquid, and pretty exclusive. And that CeDeFi model you mentioned, its significance isn't just that it's a blend. It's a strategic design to bridge a trust gap. It lets them leverage the regulatory clarity and investor protection people expect from TradFi, which is absolutely essential to attract big institutions, right?
Can't skip that part.
No way. But it also embraces the efficiency, the global accessibility, and the permissionless innovation that DeFi offers. It's this hybrid approach, specifically built to foster trust and integrate these two worlds smoothly for both sophisticated investors and eventually everyone.
Okay, so let's dig a bit deeper into Ondo's origins and their vision. Founded in 2022, based in the Cayman Islands, they're essentially acting as a decentralized investment bank, which sounds complex, but it just means they use blockchain to manage and offer investment products that, previously only big banks could handle.
Cutting out the middleman in a way.
Kind of. And importantly, the governance is moving towards being decentralized, run by the community through something called a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization. The mechanism itself is pretty neat. Ondo creates these specific digital tokens called ERC20 tokens. That's just a common standard on the Ethereum blockchain. These tokens represent those high quality assets like US Treasuries. The beauty here is 2047 access, no market close times, and composability in DeFi.
Composability, explain that simply.
Right. Composability just means these tokens can easily plug into or work with other DeFi apps like digital Lego bricks. You can use your Ondo token in another lending app, for example. It unlocks new ways to use your assets. And crucially, they offer decent yields, often around 4 to 5% APY. So your money isn't just sitting there.
Making idle capital productive.
Exactly. Ondo's ecosystem has two main pillars. First, asset management. That's where they create the tokenized products. Second, open protocols. These are open source tools for things like lending or bridging assets across different blockchains. And all of this, as we said, is increasingly governed by the Ondo DAO.
And their mission statement to make institutional grade financial products and services available to everyone, that really hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It targets the core problem. They're talking about Wall Street 2.0, an open global economy where blockchain just dismantles the old barriers.
What specific barriers are we talking about?
Well, think about TradFi. High minimum investment. Sometimes you need over $1 million just to get in the door for certain products.
Right. Totally out of reach for most people.
Totally. And then there's the slow settlement times. Trades taking 2 days to finalize, the whole T+2 thing. Ties up capital. Blockchain and what Ondo is building allows for instant global access. All you need is your private keys to a digital wallet. And smart contracts, those are like self-executing agreements on the blockchain. Manage everything automatically and transparently.
So faster, cheaper, more direct.
Yes. And it enables a whole cascade of benefits. Instant global capital access via stablecoins, those are cryptos pegged to dollars. Institutional products become available to retail investors through these open protocols. You get self-custody, meaning you actually control your assets, not a bank. Granular permissions, 247 operations, and permissionless innovation anyone can build on top of it.
That innovation part feels key.
It is. And the impact is already noticeable. As of 2025, Ondo's tokenized over $7.5 billion in US Treasuries, over $500 million in stocks ETFs. They're a major player in this $288 billion global tokenized market, which is growing fast. But the market opportunity is just immense. Think about it. Stablecoins are maybe $280 billion. Tokenized treasuries, $7.5 billion. Stocks, $500 million. That sounds big, but it's only about 0.3% of the total global financial assets, which is over $100 trillion.
Wow. So barely scratched the surface.
Barely. Honors leading this CeDeFi space with $1.39 billion TVL. They've got partnerships with giants like BlackRock. They're expanding to Solana, Mantle, C, and the projections are exciting. Tokenized stocks could potentially see the same kind of growth as tokenized treasuries that went from $1 billion to $7 billion in just 18 months.
So huge potential for platforms like Ondo Global Markets.
Exactly. Potentially reshaping how we all think about investing in stocks.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. Why do we even need Ondo? What are the cracks, the fundamental problems in the existing financial systems? Let's look at traditional finance, TradFi first. It's often, well, exclusive, right?
Definitely.
High fees, really high minimum investment amounts that shut most people out, complex KYC hurdles, know your customer rules, that can be a pain. Plus those slow T+2 settlement times we mentioned, it all limits access, especially to good stable yields like the 5% you can get on US Treasuries right now. If you're not an institution, it's hard to get that directly.
It's a system built by institutions for institutions largely.
Pretty much. Then you flip over to decentralized finance, DeFi. It's great for accessibility, super innovative, but it has its own gaps, often lacks the safeguards, the regulatory clarity that institutions need to feel comfortable.
Right. The Wild West perception sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. You might see unregulated yields, unclear reserves, like what's actually backing this thing. And there's always the risk of smart contract bugs or hacks. These risks deter the big players, the institutions that could bring huge liquidity and stability. So if we break down the key issues across both systems, accessibility, like 99% of the world can't directly buy US Treasuries. That's staggering.
Mind-boggling number.
Efficiency, manual processes and TradFi cost maybe $15-20 billion a year just in settlement costs. Transparency. TradFi reporting can be opaque. Some DeFi projects have, well, issues with verifying their reserves. Liquidity. Only crypto offers true 2047 markets. TradFi closes on weekends, holidays, and composability. Traditional assets are siloed. They don't easily work together across different platforms. Creates friction.
Yeah, all these inefficiencies and exclusions, they really highlight the need for something better. And this exposes that critical gap, right? Why are so many people, so much capital just left out? Ondo's mission makes perfect sense when you see these pain points. They're not just building a cool app, they're trying to combine the best technical improvements from the digital world, things like instant settlement, global access, with the absolutely vital investor protections, transparency, and regulatory compliance that people need and expect from finance.
It's about trust, ultimately.
Absolutely. And think about it practically. Imagine you have just $500. You want to invest it safely in US Treasuries, in TradFi. Trying to do that directly is almost impossible. The minimums are way too high. Ondo is fundamentally trying to break down that barrier, let people access these quality products with much, much lower amounts of capital, something unthinkable just a few years ago.
Right. So Ondo's answer is the CeFi hybrid model, taking the strengths of both worlds. How does that actually work in practice? Well, they operate through two main arms working together. First, their asset management arm. This is where they tokenize funds backed by really solid traditional finance assets, like those BlackRock ETFs we mentioned. That's the bridge.
Using established regulated building blocks.
Exactly. Second, they have protocols. These are open source tools designed for seamless integration into the wider DeFi world. They let these tokenized assets be used in new ways, lending, borrowing, etc. And their whole operation follows some key guiding principles. First is compliance first design. This isn't bolted on later, it's built in from the start. This means strict KYTML checks, know your customer, anti money laundering, standard stuff to verify identity and prevent
Oh,
crime.
Table stakes for dealing with real money.
Totally. They also use specific regulatory pathways like Reg D exemptions, that's an SEC rule, allowing private sales to accredited investors, folks meeting certain income or asset levels. It's a way to offer products within the rules. Then there's transparency. They champion on chain proofs anyone can verify the assets on the blockchain, plus daily attestations, say, by Ankara Trust, an independent third party confirming the reserves every single day. That's a big deal.
Huge leap from quarterly reports in TradFi.
Right? Next is accessibility. Really low minimums start with maybe $100, an easy wallet based entry, use your digital wallet. And finally, innovation.
Oh, our listeners got something to share. Let's hear it.
yeah, I hate to interrupt you guys because I really want you to stay on track and I don't want you to lose your place in what you're telling us. But this is a great spot for me to jump in where you said that maybe Ondo is going to try to let people in with no minimum investment. Why do you think traditional finance had such a high minimum investment and such big barriers for the normal person to get in? Was there some sort of nefarious intent, or do you just think that's the way that it was and now things have changed?
That is a fantastic, crucial question.
No interruption at all. We love when you jump in.
Okay, let's unpack this. It's really less about nefarious intent and more about the way the system was originally built.
Think about the mechanics of traditional finance or TradFi.
It's just very labor intensive, right?
Historically, for every transaction processing paperwork, human oversight, legal compliance, physical settlement, there are high fixed costs.
Absolutely. The cost to service a $100 investment is almost the same as the cost to service $1 million one, maybe even more per dollar invested.
So institutions set those high minimums to make the transaction economically worthwhile for themselves.
It was necessary to cover those manual processes and administrative costs we mentioned earlier.
Plus, in many cases, especially for exclusive products like hedge
Wow.
funds or private equity, regulations actually required high minimums.
Yes, like the Reg D exemptions we just brought up.
Those rules often stimulate that products can only be offered to accredited investors, people who meet high income or asset thresholds.
That's a regulatory protection, basically saying if you're investing this much, you can afford the risk.
And that ends up excluding the majority of people, regardless of the bank's intent.
Now, what's changed is that blockchain technology dramatically reduces those fixed costs.
Smart contracts and automated digital processes eliminate most of the human paper-based labor.
Exactly. It makes servicing those smaller $100 investments suddenly economically viable, which is why Ondo can offer them.
So it's not a shift from good to evil, it's a shift from an expensive manual system to an efficient automated one.
Yeah, definitely
A
didn't know
system
that.
that opens the doors that were once prohibitively expensive to operate.
And that's the real power of CeDeFi, keeping the necessary regulatory compliance, but ditching the old, slow overhead.
That makes the accessibility principle so important.
Absolutely. Now, let's circle back to where we were before you chimed in. We were just about to wrap up the discussion on the core principles of Ondo's hybrid model.
We had just covered accessibility with the low $100 minimums, and we were about to hit on the final principle.
Right. The low minimums are a direct consequence of this new efficiency.
Right. And finally, innovation. Things like 247 redemptions and the cross chain bridges to move assets between blockchains easily.
Powerful for growth.
Yeah. And the yields you earn on Ondo products, they're designed to auto compound. Your earnings start earning more earnings right away.
The economic model is also key. The management fees, pretty low, like 0.15% to 0.5%, go to the DAO Treasury to fund growth.
And the overall impact. As of 2025, Ondo's processing over $170 billion in tokenized treasuries.
They're actually helping support the US debt markets by bringing in new, efficient global capital.
It's fascinating because, like you said, they aren't trying to completely tear down and rebuild the entire financial system.
It's more like they're strategically upgrading it. Think of putting a super efficient modern hybrid engine into a really reliable, well-built car.
Good analogy.
The underlying structure, the regulatory framework of TradFi is still there, providing that reliability which institutions demand.
But the engine, the way it operates, becomes way more efficient and inclusive with DeFi tech.
And that relentless focus on compliance, it's not just about following rules, it's the absolute bedrock for attracting big traditional institutions.
Makes sense.
So that hybrid car analogy, you get the power and infrastructure of the gas engine combined with the efficiency and innovation of electric.
It's engineered to be a smoother, more accessible, and more trusted ride for way more people thanks to that new efficiency.
Evolution, not just disruption.
Okay, let's get to the really exciting part, the actual products. What can you, the listener, potentially invest in?
Ondo offers these ERC20 tokens, digital representations of tokenized RWAs.
You can buy them, subscribe using USDC stablecoins or regular US dollars, and then redeem them 2047.
So what are the main ones? First up is OUSG. This tokenizes short-term US Treasuries.
Okay, the Treasury product.
Yeah. The underlying assets, it's primarily backed by the BlackRock Retail Fund.
Over 99.5% is in short-term T-bills. That BlackRock connection is huge for credibility.
Definitely a major stamp of approval.
The yield. As of September 2025, it's offering around 5.3% APY. Pretty attractive yield.
Eligibility. It's global, but you need KYC for redemptions.
For US investors, it generally falls under Reg D, meaning it's mainly for accredited investors, those meeting specific income asset levels.
Got it. So some restrictions for US folks tied to those old regulatory requirements.
Right. The TV lame currently around $111.7 million locked in this one.
Key features, instant USDC minting, deposit USDC, get OUSG tokens right away.
2047 liquidity helped by Circle, the USDC issuer, and it's designed to be bankruptcy remote.
Explain bankruptcy remote simply.
Sure, it basically means the underlying treasuries are legally separate from Ondo itself.
So if Ondo ever had problems, your assets are structured to be protected. It's a crucial safety feature.
Okay, good to know.
Next, OMMF. This is their tokenized money market fund.
Underlying assets, primarily BlackRock cash equivalents, again, leveraging that institutional backing.
Yield. As of September 2025, around 4.8% APY. Stable yield.
Eligibility, this one's specifically aimed at US accredited investors.
Key features. Focuses on stable yields. Provides that on-chain transparency we talked about.
So, similar concept, different target audience, maybe.
Kind of, yeah. Then there's USDY. This is Ondo's innovative yield-bearing stablecoin.
Underlying assets, backed by a mix of short duration bonds and bank deposits. Diversified backing.
Yield. Offering about 5% APY as of September 2025. So your stablecoin earns interest.
Which is a big difference from most stablecoins that just sit there.
Exactly. Eligibility. This is globally available, but requires high camel compliance.
TD LOM, over $333.8 million within its ecosystem. Pretty popular.
Key features. Stays pegged to the US dollar for stability. It's expanding to other blockchains, Solana, Mantle, Say.
And crucially, its reserves are guaranteed via Ankara Trust.
That independent verification again.
Yep, Ankara regularly confirms the assets are there backing USDY, builds trust.
So how do these generally work for you, the user? It's meant to be pretty straightforward.
1. You onboard via Ondo.finance, do the KYC if needed.
2. Deposit USDC or USD, get your Ondo tokens instantly.
3. Start earning yield on chain. When you want out, redeem for USD or USDC.
Usually takes about 1 business day for OUSG. That's T+1.
Okay, fairly quick redemption.
Yeah. And 4, composability. You can use these tokens in other DeFi protocols like Flex Finance for lending. We'll touch on Flex next.
And finally, something really new and exciting. Ondo Global Markets, launched September 2025.
The stock tokenization platform.
Exactly. What it is, it tokenizes over 100 US stocks and ETFs.
So you could hold a token representing, say, share of Tesla or maybe an S&P 500 ETF.
Key advantage. This is clever. It inherits liquidity from traditional exchanges like the NYSE.
That's huge for usability. No waiting for liquidity to build up.
Massive advantage. Impact. The launch was phenomenal. Racked up $172 million in TVL in its first week.
Wow. Clearly hitting a nerve. This brings up a really important point for you, the listener.
What does a yield-bearing stablecoin like USDY actually mean for your money?
It's basically like having your cash earn significant interest just by holding it digitally, but with the stability you expect from the US dollar.
Most people hold stablecoins or even cash in a bank, earning practically nothing, right?
USDY flips that. It puts that idle cash to work, offering yields competitive with what institutions get.
The practical benefits are just huge. Imagine getting those institutional grade yields, that 5% APY on your spare cash.
Accessible with maybe just $100 thanks to that new technological efficiency we discussed.
Instead of needing millions or navigating complex old school investment structures, it's fundamental democratization.
Opens doors.
Big time. And that BlackRock partnership, can't emphasize it enough. It's not just about the name, it's strategic.
By integrating with BlackRock's established regulated funds, Ondo is basically bringing these giants into DeFi.
It signals how institutional money is likely to flow into crypto going forward.
A bridge, but maybe also pulling them across.
Exactly. And that rapid $172 million TVL in global markets in week one, it just screams pent up demand for tokenized traditional assets. People are ready for this.
All right, so behind these impressive products are Ondo's protocols.
These are the independent open source engines that really power the whole ecosystem. What are they?
A key thing is they run independently, governed by the DAO, often on separate web domains.
That's deliberate for decentralization and resilience.
Makes sense. Avoids a single point of failure.
Precisely. Let's start with Flux Finance. What it is. Flux is Ondo's RWA lending protocol.
Think of it like a decentralized bank, but specifically using Ondo's tokenized RWAs, like OUSG, USDY, as collateral.
So borrowing against your tokenized treasuries.
I
for
didn't know
example.
Flux
Exactly.
and Ondo were
How it
connected.
works. You can borrow stablecoins, usually against your OUSG or USDY.
The loan to value ratio, or LTV, is typically between 50–80%.
LTV just means the maximum you can borrow compared to your collateral's value.
So if you put up $1,000 of OUSG, maybe you can borrow $500 to $800 worth of stables. It's over collateralized.
Meaning there's always more collateral value than loan value. Safer.
Right, add a safety buffer. Compliance, this is important. It's permissioned.
Only users who pass K-Camel checks can participate. It's key for institutional comfort.
It also integrates with Aave, a big DeFi lending platform. Scale. Flux already has over $500 million in TVL, significant adoption.
Mechanics. It uses oracles like Chainlink, which are crucial.
Oracles securely feed real-world price data onto the blockchain.
So the system knows the real-time value of the collateral, essential for managing loans.
Couldn't work without it. Next, the Ondo Bridge. What it is?
Simple concept. It allows Ondo tokens to move between different blockchains. Cross-chain transfers.
Like moving OUSG from Ethereum to Solana or Mantle?
Interoperability makes the tokens more useful across the crypto space.
Exactly. Technology, it uses Layer 0, a well-regarded tech for secure cross-chain communication.
And looking ahead, a really big piece, the Ondo chain. This is their upcoming Layer 1 blockchain built specifically for RWAs.
Their own blockchain. Interesting.
Okay. Mainnet launch planned for Q3 2025.
What it is. Built using the Cosmos SDK, but it's also EVM-compatible Ethereum virtual machine.
That means developers can easily bring over existing Ethereum apps. Huge plus for ecosystem growth.
Lowers the barrier for developers.
Totally unique feature. It uses permission validators.
The computers securing the network will be run by institutions that meet certain compliance standards.
Adds another layer of trust and regulatory alignment.
Focus. The whole chain is designed specifically for RWA scalability.
Handling the unique needs, the transaction volume, the regulations of bringing potentially trillions in real-world assets on chain.
A purpose-built chain for RWAs. Makes sense given the complexities.
Exactly. And the fee structure for these protocols is typically 0.1% to 0.3%.
Half of those fees go directly to the DAO treasury.
So the protocols help fund the ecosystem's future development. Self-sustaining model.
That's the goal.
What's really compelling here, that Ondo isn't just selling products.
They're meticulously building the fundamental infrastructure, the rails for the whole RWA train, if you will.
The Ondo chain, for example, it's a direct strategic response to a clear need.
The need for a blockchain specifically engineered to handle the complexities, the regulations, the scale of real-world assets.
General purpose blockchains are great, but they weren't necessarily designed with things like mandatory KYC or complex legal structures for RWAs in mind from day one.
Right, different design goals.
Exactly. This foresight, building a purpose-built chain, shows a really sophisticated long-term vision. They're anticipating where the market is going.
Okay, so every thriving crypto ecosystem needs a native token, right? For Ondo, that's ONDO.
What does it do? ONDO is an ERC20 governance token, standard type on Ethereum.
It's the core tool for governing the Ondo DAO, the whole project, and also Flux Finance, their lending protocol.
So it gives holders power.
Exactly. Let's look at supply and utilities. Supply total is 10 billion ONDO tokens.
As of August 2025, about 4.87 billion are circulating.
So just under half, 48.7%, are unlocked and out in the market.
Utility. What can you actually do with Ondo? First, governance voting.
Holding Ondo lets you vote on proposals for the DAO. You get a direct say in the project's future.
Decentralized decision making.
Yep. Second, staking for yields. You can stake your Ondo in Flux Finance and earn more Ondo.
Staking means locking up tokens to help secure the network. and you get rewarded for it.
Third, potentially premium product access. Down the line, holding Ondo might unlock special features or access within the ecosystem.
And fourth, fee accrual. The token is designed to capture some value from the protocol fees generated.
Okay, multiple uses. What about who gets the tokens? Allocation and vesting.
Right. This is super important for stability. Vesting means tokens are locked and released gradually over time.
It stops early investors or the team from dumping everything at once and crashing the price.
Crucial for long-term health.
Absolutely. Here's the breakdown. Ondo Foundation DO gets the biggest slice, 52%, 5.2 billion tokens.
These vest linearly over 4 years, starting after the TGE token generation event, when the token first launched in Jan 2024.
Team and advisors get 33%, 3.3 billion. They have a 4-year vesting schedule too, but with a cliff.
Meaning no tokens released for an initial period, then they unlock gradually.
Equity investors get 12.9%, 1.29 billion, vesting over 2 to 4 years.
Community incentives, a smaller slice, 2.1%, 210 million, for things like ongoing airdrops to encourage participation.
The unlock schedule is managed carefully. TGE in Jan 2024 unlocked 15%.
The next big one is August 18, 2025, releasing 1.85%, or about 184.5 million MNDO, worth around $189 million at current estimates.
Gradual release is key.
It mitigates that dumping risk. As of August 2025, over half the supply, about 51.3%, is still locked up investing.
For value accrual, 20% of protocol fees go to ONDO stakers.
Plus, the DEO Treasury is growing with that $250 million catalyst fund for development.
The token launched mid-2022 through an IEO initial exchange offering to over 18,000 people.
Price at TGE was around 10 cents, and it hit an all-time high of $1.50. Shows significant interest.
This really brings up a critical point about token design, doesn't it?
How the structure of the tokenomics influences the whole ecosystem.
That careful allocation, the gradual vesting schedule, they aren't just technical details.
They're absolutely fundamental for long-term stability and for aligning incentives.
Everyone, team, investors, community needs to be rowing in the same direction.
Makes sense, keeps everyone focused on long-term success.
Exactly. The whole point of investing is practical. Stop massive sell-offs that could destroy the project early on.
By making early backers hold tokens longer, their financial success is tied to the project's success, not just a quick flip.
It's responsible tokenomics, especially for projects aiming for institutional adoption and longevity.
Okay, so who's actually steering this ship?
The Ondo DAO, the Decentralized Autonomous Organization, is really the heart of governance here.
It embodies that community-driven spirit. The DAO makes the big decisions.
Right. It oversees flux finance, approves protocol upgrades, things like that.
The Ondo Foundation, a separate legal entity, manages the DAO's treasury, that $250 million plus fund.
For voting, they use quadratic voting. It's clever.
Oh, hey,
While
hey,
one
no,
RDO
no, no,
or
like
one
a deep
vote,
deep
the system
vote,
gives
so.
proportionally more weight to smaller holders.
Helps prevent whales from completely dominating. More democratic in a way.
Yeah. You can also delegate your votes using Snapshot, a common, easy-to-use tool in DeFi for off-chain voting, so no gas fees.
And the DAO has already been active. In 2024, they approved the token unlock schedule with over 99% yes votes.
August 2025, they approved new token issuance for ecosystem growth, almost unanimous, 99.99% approval.
Shows strong community alignment.
Definitely. The Treasury, over $250 million for grants, is managed transparently on-chain. Anyone can track it.
Proposals get discussed openly on their forum, forum.flexfinance.com.
It's fascinating the power of a DAO. It really means the community, through their Ondo tokens, has a direct, verifiable say in the platform's future.
That's a huge shift from traditional companies where decisions happen behind closed doors with a small group of executives or a board.
True decentralization in action.
Yeah, the collective wisdom, the diverse views, the aligned interests of token holders actually guide the project, creates real ownership.
So how is all this built? What's the tech stack, the architecture under the hood?
Well, blockchain-wise, it's a multi-chain strategy.
Ethereum is primary, but USDY is also on Solana, Mantle, Sui, Aptos, Sei, reaching users across different ecosystems.
Meeting users where they are.
Exactly. Token standard, mostly ERC20 on Ethereum, but they use ERC4626 for their vaults.
That's a specific standard for tokenized yield-bearing vaults. It makes integration much easier for other DeFi protocols.
Orbacles heavily rely on Chainlink, absolutely critical for getting reliable.
Oh, back to our listener. What's up?
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. It's such a key point. I want you guys definitely to continue, but I want to say hi to all the viewers that we have on X. We are absolutely flying over there. We have 41 total viewers. Only 8 of them are over here on YouTube. So we want to say hi to those guys over on X. Now we have 43. So something is definitely going on over there on X. Hello to everybody over there. And then Billy, Crypto Billy, the founder of BillyGoatTales, our parent network here on YouTube, said, he asked the question, he said, when will the Ondo price hit $10? And then after you say hi to those folks and you answer Billy's question, I want you to pick up right where you left off.
We are never interrupted.
No, we love that.
Hello to the 43 viewers on X.
Welcome, everyone. Glad you could join us for this deep dive.
And hey to Billy, founder of BillyGoatTales.
Thanks for tuning in, Billy. Great question, too.
That's the $1 million, or rather the $10 question, isn't it?
Right. We have to be very clear here.
We can't give any financial predictions or advice.
Not at all. That would be irresponsible, and we just don't do that.
What we can do is talk about the potential for growth.
And what would need to happen for a price like that?
The current price of TGE was 10 cents.
And it hit an all-time high of $1.50.
For Ondo to hit $10, the market capitalization would need to grow exponentially.
It would demand massive, sustained success and adoption.
Think about the market opportunity we discussed.
That
Great
$100
answer.
trillion plus RWA market,
If Ondo truly captures a significant slice of that,
if they hit that $10 billion TBL goal and beyond,
and if the Ondo chain becomes the leading infrastructure for RWA,
and if that Ondo token utility for governance and fee accrual fully kicks in.
that could create the demand needed for that kind of price movement.
But those are massive ifs and depend on regulatory clarity, too.
It's a very ambitious target requiring total global mainstream success.
A huge leap from where it is now, but the RWA market is immense.
So no price target, but a clear path to high growth exists.
A path that relies on all these parts working together flawlessly.
Now let's get back to the tech stack where we left off.
Yes, talking about how all this is built under the hood.
We were just discussing the critical role of oracles.
Real-world price feeds and reserve data onto the blockchain. Can't stress that enough.
Secure data feeds are non-negotiable for RWA collateral.
For sure. Now let's touch on security. It's multi-layered.
That includes multiple audits from top firms like PetShield, CertiK, and QuantStamp checking their code.
And crucially, they have insurance on their assets.
Architecture is modular. Different parts can be updated independently.
They use permissioned vaults to isolate risk.
So an issue in one area shouldn't take down the whole system.
AutoNexus is their framework for interoperability between components.
And as we discussed, the upcoming Ondo chain is a big piece.
A public permissioned L1 EVM compatible with institutional validators.
All built specifically for compliance and RWA scale.
This raises that question again. Why multi-chain?
It's strategic positioning, really.
It lets them tap into diverse communities and leverage the specific strengths of different chains.
Speed, fees, developer base, they meet users where they are.
While the upcoming Ondo chain specifically tackles the unique, demanding needs of regulated RWAs at scale.
It's a tailored environment for those complex assets, which general chains might struggle with. Very pragmatic.
Makes sense. Now, behind every great project, there's a great team.
Ondo has a solid workforce, maybe 48 to 94 employees, fully remote, US based.
Let's look at the founders.
Nathan Ullman, the CEO co-founder, he came from Goldman Sachs.
He worked on digital assets there and founded Chain Street Capital.
Strong TradFi meets crypto experience.
Exactly. And Pinku Sarana, the co-founder and tech lead.
He brings that crucial full stack engineering expertise.
Their key executives also have impressive TradFi and regulatory chops.
Ian DeBode, head of strategy, he's spoken at the NYSE about tokenization.
Shows their engagement with traditional markets.
Mark Janoff, the general counsel, is actively talking with the SEC about policy.
Vital for navigating the legal side, proactive engagement is key.
And a huge hire in September 2025. Peter Curley, head of global regulatory affairs.
This guy's resume is stacked. Ex-Coinbase, ex-SEC, ex-US Treasury.
That's a serious signal about their commitment to compliance and long-term intent.
Absolutely. They also have influential advisors.
Like Petra McHenry, former chair of the House Financial Services Committee.
His political and regulatory insight is invaluable. Understanding of DC is essential.
And they're backed by over 40 VCs, including Founders Fund, Peter Thiel's firm.
It's a potent mix of deep TradFi knowledge, sharp regulatory understanding, and serious backing.
Positions them very well. That blend is critical.
Yeah, that Goldman Sachs NYSE experience combined with a deep blockchain tech knowledge.
And then figures like Peter Curley coming directly from the SEC and Treasury.
It just screams a serious long-term commitment to solving the complex regulatory puzzle.
Which, as we've noted, is absolutely crucial for RWA tokenization to succeed mainstream. It's mandatory.
Right. No project is an island, and Ondo really thrive on strategic partnerships.
They have over 80 integrations, which speaks volumes about their reach.
80 plus is a lot. Let's hit some highlights. BlackRock.
They provide the asset backing for ALUS GONNF via their BDL fund.
Ondo holds over $223 there, exploring broader tokenized ETF initiatives together.
That BlackRock link is a constant important theme.
Coinbase is a major partner, custody, liquidity, USDC conversions.
And they're planning tokenized stock listings with Ondo soon. Deep integration.
Mastercard has integrated OUSG onto their multi-token network,
Connecting tokenized asset to traditional payment systems for businesses.
bridging the old and new payment rails.
Securitize is key for issuing the BUL fund units and powering Ondo global markets.
Circle provides essential stablecoin liquidity, enabling those 204/7 USDC swaps.
Keeps things running smoothly. Liquidity is king.
Always. Others, advisory from Morgan Stanley, USDY expansion to Say, Solana,
Acquiring Strangelove for more blockchain dev power. Custody with BitGo.
and the Global Markets Alliance, 25 members, including Ledger and BitGo.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, these partnerships build legitimacy.
When you see BlackRock, Coinbase, Mastercard involved, it signals a serious effort.
It tells institutions this is serious and paves the way for mainstream adoption.
Exactly. Now, shifting to something equally crucial, regulatory compliance and security.
This is where Ondo really tries to stand out. It's foundational.
Compliance. They operate OUSG under Red D, the SEC rule for private offerings.
For USDY, they have FinCEN MSB registration to operate legally.
Plus, strict by Camel verifying customer identities, necessary hoops.
Safeguards include that bankruptcy isolation structure protecting assets,
Daily attestrations by Ankara verifying reserves independently.
audits, financial and security by top firms like PetShield.
They share these audit results with regulators, demonstrates transparency.
Being proactive with regulators helps build trust.
Definitely. Engagement, they make SEC filings like for the NASDAQ Tokenized Trading Initiative.
They have policy talks directly with people like SEC Commissioner Hester Pierce.
Active participation is key.
This raises that important question again. Why is compliance so critical for RWAs?
Without it, institutions just won't touch it, and regular folks would be hesitant.
Ondo's proactive stance is foundational to that CeDeFi promise.
It assures everyone they're operating within the rules, which is needed to bring TradFi safely onto the blockchain.
Makes sense. Now, no investment is risk-free.
Ondo is transparent about the risks, and it's vital you understand them.
First, market interest rate risk. Yields can fluctuate. Stablecoins could depeg.
Standard financial risks.
Mitigation. Condo uses over-collateralization, more collateral than debt.
And conservative tranches, senior, junior to layers of risk to spread it.
Second, regulatory risk. Laws are always evolving. New rules could pop up.
The big unknown sometimes.
Mitigation. Dedicated compliance team using existing exemptions like Red D.
Engaging in policy advocacy to help shape sensible rules.
Third, smart contract security risk. Possibility of hacks or code bugs.
Even future quantum computing threats, tech risk is always there.
Mitigation. Multiple audits, insurance on assets, bug bounties.
Constant updates to stay ahead of threats.
Fourth, custody operational risk. A partner could fail. Counterparty risk.
Mitigation. Diversifying custodians using big banks like BNY Mellon.
And those bankruptcy remote structures protect assets if a partner fails.
Fifth, liquidity token unlock risk, selling pressure on the Ondo token when vested tokens unlock.
Investing schedule risk we talked about when Billy asked this question.
Mitigation, gradual unlocks, and community incentives to encourage holding.
And the standard disclaimer, Ondo itself isn't registered with the SEC CFTC.
But operates under specific exemptions and frameworks. It's compliant within its scope.
Being transparent about risks and showing clear mitigation strategies is key for trust.
It's about managing risk proactively and responsibly.
That detailed disclosure is what institutions expect. It shows they're serious.
Okay, so what's next for Ondo? Their 2025 focus is ambitious.
Scale RWAs.
Oh, go for it.
Great, I appreciate that. And we would definitely want to continue with their 2025 focus whenever you answer this last question for me. I was just wondering, so Billy asked a question about the $10 price, so maybe that's a little bit ambitious. Can you tell me whether or not you think that Ondo at its current price is overvalued or undervalued compared to all the things, all the partnerships that they have?
We appreciate the question, and we're always happy to pause.
No problem at all. Great to hear from you.
That is a fundamental question in finance.
It's the core puzzle of any investment, isn't it?
Right. Whether something is over or undervalued is always subjective.
We must emphasize that we cannot give financial advice here.
But we can break down the valuation framework using the information we have.
When you look at Ondo's value, you have to weigh the current metrics.
We know the circulating supply is nearly 4.9 billion tokens.
And the current market cap is based on the circulating supply times the price.
Now compare that to the massive potential market.
That $100 trillion plus RWA market opportunity is huge.
Ondo currently manages $1.39 billion in total value locked.
If they manage to capture even 1% of the RWA market,
Their market cap would need to grow exponentially to reflect that.
their partnerships like BlackRock and Coinbase provide massive credibility
That institutional trust often translates into higher valuation potential.
because it lowers the perceived risk for new large investors.
You also have to consider the long vesting schedules we discussed earlier.
Over half the supply is still locked up.
That controlled relief helps support the token's price over time.
If you believe Ondo can successfully deliver on their roadmap
Launch the Ondo chain, achieve that $10 billion TVL goal,
and fully implement the Ondo token utility for fees and governance.
then you could argue the current valuation is low relative to the potential.
This is a classic growth stock analysis where the value is in the future.
However, if the regulatory landscape shifts negatively,
Or if they fail to scale or
Wow.
execute the Ondo chain launch.
then the current price could be fairly valued or even high.
It all comes down to confidence in that CeDeFi execution and the team's ability.
Which is why we spent so much time on the team and compliance.
Those factors are the real drivers of long-term value, beyond hype.
So we can't label it over or undervalued.
But the ingredients for high growth, based on partnerships and market size, are certainly present.
Now let's circle back to where we left off.
Yes, talking about that very ambitious 2025 focus.
Scale RWAs to over $10 billion in TVL and launch the Ondo chain.
$10 billion TVL would be massive growth.
A huge leap, as we just acknowledged. That would affect valuation.
Let's look at their roadmap and milestones.
Q1 2025 is already achieved. Launched USDY on Solana.
Grew the Global Markets Alliance and got featured in a digital asset report.
Plus, they launched that $250 million Catalyst Fund for growth.
Q2 2025 is also complete. They held the Ondo Summit,
Integrated with Mastercard, showing their payment rail focus.
made strategic acquisitions, and announced Ondo Nexus, consistent delivery.
Q3 2025 is happening now. The Ondo chain mainnet went live.
Global Markets launched with that fast growth we noted earlier.
They also filed with the SEC for NASDAQ tokenized trading.
A very impactful quarter focused on infrastructure and market entry.
Q4 2025 is upcoming. Plans include EU RWA expansion with Eurobonds.
Upgrades to Flex Finance are planned for better usability.
Hoping for SEC approvals for tokenized stocks, a key regulatory hurdle.
And deeper BlackRock ETF tokenization plans, leveraging that partnership further.
Expanding geographically is a big step towards that global vision.
Yeah, signifies serious global ambition beyond the US market.
And long term, aiming for full TradFi integration by 2030.
That's the ultimate vision, the open economy fully realized.
This roadmap shows a very deliberate, phased approach, doesn't it?
Prioritizing careful regulatory steps alongside strategic expansion.
This methodical execution is vital for building something sustainable.
It reflects that necessary institutional mindset we keep pointing to.
Right. And an open economy isn't just about the tech, it's people and community.
Their community started with 18,000 plus early token holders.
Very active on Twitter with over 100,000 followers, Telegram, and Discord.
Monthly spotlights and governance forums keep the community deeply engaged.
Definitely. Their ecosystem has 25 plus alliance members already.
Integrations with major players like Aave, Gemini, and Kraken.
They provide developer guides, fostering external innovation on their platform.
Incentives include staking rewards and that $250 million Catalyst Fund we talked about.
And recent buzz. Lots of excitement about global markets hitting $100 million in week one.
Plus, that SEC commissioner comment about crypto's time has come really resonated with the community.
That kind of buzz and community energy matters for the project's momentum.
What's fascinating is that community engagement is crucial for long-term health.
It's not just about what Ondo's core team builds, but the network effect.
It's about what the community builds on top of their platform.
Exactly. That open, collaborative approach, fueled by incentives, accelerates growth.
So, wrapping this up, what does it all mean for
Oh, yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah, right before we wrap it up, we have a couple questions. I'll start with one of them. It was a little bit earlier. So Kate Diggity, he asked, isn't Ondo a governance token? What sort of real world value does this project have outside the flashy indirect business relationships? I think you may have answered this, but can you simplify that answer for us?
That is an excellent, excellent question from Kate Diggity.
Yeah, that really gets to the heart of utility.
And we absolutely should simplify the Ondo token's real world value.
We did touch on it, but we can definitely break it down simply.
Yes, Ondo is fundamentally a governance token,
That means its primary value comes from giving holders a vote.
a verifiable direct say in the future of the Ondo DAO.
Things like approving the token unlock schedule or funding decisions.
That's internal value. directing the project?
But the real world value outside of those flashy relationships comes from two things.
One, the token is designed to capture value from the protocols.
Specifically, 20% of the fees generated by Flux Finance go to Ondo stakers.
If Flux Finance continues to grow to $500 million TVL and beyond,
That fee accrual becomes a very real, tangible economic reward
it connects the token directly to the efficiency of the platform.
to the products themselves, the OUSG, USDY, OMMF tokens.
These tokens represent actual yield-boeing, real-world assets.
US Treasuries, bonds, bank deposits.
Undo's real value lies in controlling the infrastructure that tokenizes those assets,
So the governance token controls the mechanism that brings in billions of dollars.
which is pretty profound real-world value.
It makes Ondo the key to the RWA gateway, if you will.
It enables the fractional ownership and accessibility we keep discussing.
And as the market grows toward that $100 trillion potential, Ondo's utility grows.
So it's the control, the fee capture, and the exposure to the massive RWA market.
Thanks again for the great question. That was crucial.
Now let's wrap up our deep dive into the future of finance.
Hey, yeah, what's up?
Just before we wrap up, we had a fun question from Crypto Billy 111. Remember, he's the founder of BillyGoatTales. His question: would you rather fight one 20-foot high or 20-foot tall chicken or 21-foot tall chickens?
Oh, that's a classic thought experiment.
A delightful curveball from Billy. We appreciate the levity.
We're talking finance, and Billy brings in the giant poultry problem.
Right. And both scenarios are absolutely terrifying.
But if we have to make a choice, it requires an assessment of risk and mitigation.
It's a risk management decision, which we've been discussing with Ondo's approach.
Okay, let's unpack this. One 20-foot chicken.
That's a massive single point of failure. High risk, high reward.
It's huge, but it's one target. You can focus all your resources.
That's the diversification risk, actually.
Exactly. The impact of the single monster is devastating, but it's predictable.
Whereas 21-foot chickens, that's decentralized chaos.
They're small, fast, and they come from all directions. Swarm potential is huge.
The operational risk is much higher with 20 smaller threats. Harder to track.
Think of it like a smart contract audit versus a widespread liquidity drain.
You'd rather face the one big audited problem.
So I'm going with the one 20-foot chicken, fewer points of engagement.
I agree. The singular massive risk is easier to mitigate than the decentralized swarm.
A strategic choice based on controlling variables.
Good question, Billy. It gets the brain working in different ways.
Now let's get back to wrapping up this deep dive where we left off.
That fundamental question: what does it all mean for the future of finance?
We've taken a really deep dive into Ondo Finance and its compelling synthesis.
What's crystal clear is that Ondo is genuinely at the forefront of this tokenization movement.
A clear leader in the CeDeFi space, focused on compliance and scale.
To recap, they're actively transforming finance by making Wall Street accessible on-chain,
They do it with robust products and incredibly strategic partnerships like BlackRock.
and a governance token that captures value from all that utility we just discussed with Kate.
Their mission is clear and powerful: build the open economy fairer, faster for everyone.
And like that SEC commissioner quote said, crypto's time has come.
It feels like an invitation, really, to join this fundamental shift towards efficiency.
It definitely leaves us with a crucial question for you, the listener.
If this vision pans out, how might it fundamentally change the way you manage your savings?
Think about that personally with the new low minimums we discussed earlier.
Consider the long-term implications, not just for bonds, but fractional ownership of everything.
Think about 247 liquidity for things that are currently totally illiquid.
If tokenization accelerates, how could that empower individuals globally?
It's a really provocative thought. Redefines access to wealth and opportunity.
And that brings us to the end of this deep dive into Ondo. Oh yeah, let's hear it.
Great. I'm glad we're about to wrap up. So I want to say goodbye to Jesse Galuck, Crypto Billy. I want to say goodbye to everybody that's been in the chat. Randy at Byte. I want to also say goodbye to Trade Intuition. You remember him, Joe. I want to say goodbye to the Library Project, which I don't think I've seen them in here before. So we want to say goodbye to them, as also as Crypto Badel, Badel, that joined us a little bit later. Jay Violet over there in Australia. Again, Randy at Byte, K Diggity, Trade Intuition. I think we had Crypto Princess come through. I'm not sure if I saw Alexander G, but maybe she'll catch the replay. So I want to say hi to Alexander G, Crypto Maniac 1776, and Steve Hickey.
We truly appreciate you taking the time to shout out everyone in the chat.
That's amazing. Hello to Jesse and Randy and Trading Intuition, Joe.
And welcome to the Library Project if you're new.
Yeah, and Crypto by Dale J. Violet in Australia.
Huge hello to all of you, and thank you for tuning in.
K Diggity, thanks for that great question earlier.
And Alexandra, we hope you catch the replay soon.
Also, shout out to Cryptomaniac 1776 and Steve Hickey.
It's wonderful that so many people engaged today.
We love the community that surrounds this deep dive.
It was great having all those people listening in.
Okay, let's officially wrap up our talk on Ondo Finance.
We really hope this is giving you a clearer, more nuanced understanding.
That's exactly why we do the deep dive here.
To give you that critical edge in understanding complex systems.
With surprising facts and an engaging conversation, of course.
Including those delightful questions about giant chickens.
Remember, you can catch the Simple Terms podcast hosted by Diva Digital Live.
That's every Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Right here on the @BillyGoatTales YouTube channel. Don't miss it.
And thank you again for all your fantastic interjections today.
Your questions, like Billy's and Kate's, really guided the conversation.
And mark your calendars for those BillyGoatTales Tuesdays.
They happen on X at 8 p.m. EST.
And Sundays at 5 p.m. EST for their weekly YouTube live stream.
Make sure you're following at Degree of Digital on X.
And at BillyGoatTales on both X and YouTube.
A big thank you to our expert for guiding us through this today.
My absolute pleasure. The future of finance is being built right now.
Block by block. Well said.
Until next time, keep digging deeper.
All right, let's go. And he got his nice man voice on at the end there. You heard that? So I want to do something new as we wrap up. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I think that was one of the most informative, easy to understand episodes so far. I understand way tons more about Ondo than what I did in the beginning. So that's exciting to me. I hope it's exciting to you guys too. That's the whole purpose of this, is so that we can get to know actually what's going on and understand how things are working and see what's fun to us and what interests us and where can we get into and, you know, where do we want to invest. Of course, I'm not giving you financial advice. We're just here going over this information together. So I think this was really fun. I do want to try something out. I'm not sure if it's loaded up right, but let's give it a shot because I'm sure that you guys, I mean, it's Saturday morning. I'm sure you guys need to do a little stretching and get your energy going. So let me see if we can, let's see here. That one's not working. That one's not. Let's try a different one. Speed, bear with me just for half a second. I think it's going to be fun if we're able to get it going. There we go. Let's see here. All right. Maybe we won't be able to, but if we can, it'll be really cool. Let's see what you guys are saying while we're looking at that up. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys. Wait. Oh, did y'all hear it? I didn't hear it over here.
Open the club. Open the club. You know what time it is. It's time to open the club. 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 BillyGoatTales, BillyGoatTales, BillyGoatTales. We love you, fam. Give us game. BillyGoatTales, BillyGoatTales, BillyGoatTales. We love you, fam. Give us game. Open the club.
Yeah, baby.
You know
Open the
what
club.
time it is. It's time to open the
Open
club.
the club.
It's time to open the club. It's time to open the club. It's time to open the club. It's time to open the club. BillyGoatTales, BillyGoatTales, BillyGoatTales. We love you, fam.
Yeah, we love you, fam. Woo! All right, guys, that's it. We opened the club. See y'all next time.
In simple terms, we break it down. Complex stuff, we make it sound clear and easy for you and me. BillyGoatTales and Dave Digital bring knowledge we share. In simple terms, we're everywhere. We love you, fam. Hashtag givers gain.